If this video has reached you, it means you're seeking a change in your life, an improvement, or even to understand yourself and the people around you. And so, start the change right now by influencing your profile's algorithm. Like this video, comment on your thoughts and what changes you hope to see in your life, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel so YouTube recommends more transformative and enlightening videos to you. This way, you'll truly witness the change and improvement in your daily life. In a world where perception is everything, where the way you are seen defines the opportunities that come your way, there is a significant difference between being viewed as just another option and being perceived as a true luxury. Most people spend their lives seeking validation, trying to fit in, striving to be accepted. But those who truly stand out are not those who beg for attention, but those who radiate a natural magnetism, a presence that cannot be ignored. Today, I will reveal 9 fundamental keys to transforming how the world perceives you, so you stop being a mere alternative and become a standard of excellence, value, and distinction. Louise, an author and pioneer in personal development, understood something many ignore. Everything starts from within. It's not about superficial tricks or pretending to be someone you're not, but cultivating a mindset and presence that reflect your true worth. The true perception of luxury isn't about money, brands, or empty appearances. It's about how you present yourself to the world, the way you speak, walk, interact with others, and above all, how you relate to yourself. When you think of something luxurious, what comes to mind? Perhaps a sports car, an exclusive jewel, a paradisiacal destination. These all share something in common: scarcity, quality, and an aura of exclusivity. But most importantly, these things do not seek validation. They simply exist, and the world knows them for what they are. This is how you must project yourself. The problem is that most people have been programmed to do the opposite. From a young age, we're taught to conform, to keep our heads down, not to stand out too much, lest we appear arrogant. We're instilled with the idea that we must be humble to the point of self-deprecation. But there's a difference between humility and low self-esteem. It's not about feeling superior to others, but recognizing your own value and acting accordingly. This is where many people fail. They live in a constant state of need, seeking approval, waiting for someone else to validate their existence. And here's the irony: the more you chase acceptance, the harder it becomes to attain. The key lies in making a radical shift in your mindset. Instead of pleading, begging, or proving you're worthy, start behaving like someone who already is. The first key to being seen as a luxury is simple yet powerful. Your value is non-negotiable. This means you don't lower your standards to fit in. A diamond doesn't reduce itself because someone can't afford it. A haute couture designer doesn't lower the price of their art simply because someone can't afford it. The same applies to you. Every time you accept less than you deserve, you send a message to the world that you're not valuable. Of course, this doesn't mean being inflexible or arrogant. It means having clarity about what you accept and what you don't. Many people end up trapped in relationships, jobs, or situations where they aren't valued simply because they fear being alone or losing opportunities. But what they truly lose is self-respect. If you want to be perceived as a luxury, you must have the confidence to walk away from what isn't aligned with you. Now, the world doesn't just judge you by what you say, but by how you present yourself. This leads to the second key. Your image speaks before you do. This has nothing to do with physical beauty, but with presence. The way you dress, care for your body, and manage your body language all communicate something about you. It's not about spending thousands on designer clothes, but projecting an image consistent with who you are. True elegance doesn't come from what you wear, but how you carry yourself. When someone enters a room exuding confidence, they automatically capture attention. Their posture is firm, their gaze serene, their movements deliberate. There's no desperation, no anxiety to be accepted. That person isn't seeking validation because they already have it within themselves. This is what differentiates those perceived as options from those seen as a category apart. The third key is that the quality of your words defines how others perceive you. People don't just remember what you say, but how you say it. Those who leave a mark don't speak impulsively, waste words, or fill silences with irrelevant comments. Their communication is clear, precise, and above all, powerful. Some believe that talking a lot is synonymous with intelligence or charisma, but the real power lies in moderation. A person who knows when to stay silent at the right moment and speak with conviction when necessary will always be viewed with respect. Think of any influential figure you admire. They don't shout, complain, or seek approval with empty words. Their speech carries weight because it reflects a disciplined mind and a solid self-concept. This is what you must develop if you want others to see you as a standard, not an alternative. Of course, all of this must be accompanied by the fourth key. Your energy is your greatest calling card. You can say the right words and dress impeccably, but if your energy isn't magnetic, people will notice. Nothing is more attractive than someone who exudes confidence effortlessly. But this isn't achieved overnight. It's built through how you talk to yourself, the thoughts you feed daily. Louise often spoke about the power of affirmations and the importance of self-talk. To be perceived as exceptional, you must master the fifth key: absolute control over your emotions and reactions. Think of anyone seen as a role model, someone who commands respect and admiration. What do they have in common? Serenity. They don't react impulsively, get ruffled by provocations, or lose control over external circumstances. They are masters of themselves. Most people live enslaved by their emotions. They're carried away by anger, anxiety, fear, or insecurity. Their moods depend on what happens around them. If they receive praise, they feel good. If criticized, their world crumbles. This is a fatal mistake. Those with magnetic presence don't allow external factors to dictate their inner peace. They maintain firm composure regardless of the situation. How is this achieved? Through constant mental training. It's not about repressing emotions, but managing them intelligently. A person who easily loses their temper, gets swept up in drama, or reacts with desperation will never be seen as high value. The key is developing the ability to observe your emotions without being dominated by them. Breathe before responding, stay calm under pressure, and above all, never show neediness or urgency. When you become emotionally stable, you project confidence in every aspect of your life. You don't desperately seek attention, beg, or engage in unnecessary provocations. This stability is what separates leaders from the crowd and allows others to see you as someone who not only deserves respect, but is worthy of admiration. The sixth key is even subtler, but equally powerful: the law of scarcity in your time and energy. Have you noticed that the most valuable things aren't available to everyone? Not just anyone can enter an elite club, drive a luxury car, or access exclusive circles. This is no accident. Scarcity creates value. People seen as just another option are always available, say yes to everything, and are desperate to fit in. In contrast, those perceived as luxuries don't easily give their time. They're selective about who they allow into their lives, don't seek validation everywhere, and, most importantly, make their presence carry weight. This doesn't mean ignoring others or acting arrogantly, but consciously valuing your time. If you give your attention indiscriminately, people will assume it's worthless. But if you're selective, if you choose who shares your energy, others will understand that being near you is a privilege, not a right. Those who truly impact the world understand this perfectly. They don't surround themselves with just anyone, waste energy on useless conversations, or drain themselves in unfulfilling relationships. They know their time is their greatest asset and protect it with determination. The seventh key is mastering the art of silence and mystery. In a world where everyone shares their lives unfiltered and overexposure is the norm, those who maintain an air of enigma automatically stand out. The most intriguing people aren't those who reveal everything immediately, but those who leave room for curiosity. They balance what they show and what they reserve. They don't feel the need to explain every step they take or justify their decisions. Instead, they let others discover them gradually. Mystery doesn't mean being distant or inaccessible, but understanding the power of expectation. If you reveal too much too fast, you lose the ability to surprise. By pacing how much others learn about you, you automatically become more attractive. This is why historical figures often maintained an air of reserve, not because they had something to hide, but because they understood their presence's value increased when not everything was visible. The eighth key is your ability to create impact without directly seeking it. Many make the mistake of trying to impress others forcefully, talking about their achievements, flaunting successes, seeking constant recognition. But this doesn't attract admiration. It does the opposite. The most influential people don't need to prove their greatness because it speaks for itself. They don't seek attention. They naturally capture it through excellence. When you become exceptional in your field, when your work, actions, and presence reflect a superior standard, recognition comes without demanding it. luxury isn't promoted. You don't see exclusive brands begging people to buy their products or powerful leaders pleading for approval. Instead, they create something so valuable the entire world wants to be part of it. This is how you must operate. Finally, the ninth and most important key: your self-perception is the foundation of how the world sees you. You can apply all the previous strategies, but if deep down you don't believe in your own value, nothing will work. How you see yourself determines how others perceive you. If you consider yourself an option, you'll be treated as one. If you doubt your worth, that doubt will reflect in every interaction. But if you truly see yourself as high value, someone who offers something unique to the world, that conviction will be evident in everything you do. You can't fool people. They easily detect insecurity, neediness, or inauthenticity. But when you present yourself with absolute certainty of who you are, the world responds accordingly. This is where true transformation occurs. When you stop seeing yourself as someone who needs to be chosen and start acting as someone who is the natural choice, everything changes. It's not arrogance, it's clarity. It's not presumption, it's knowledge of your own worth. The most valuable people don't seek external validation because they understand their value doesn't depend on others' opinions. When you adopt this mindset and live from this state of certainty, the world automatically perceives you as someone who cannot be ignored. What separates those perceived as extraordinary from those who go unnoticed is the ability to project unshakable confidence. It's not about arrogance or artificial attitudes, but a deep certainty emanating from within. A conviction so firm others can feel it without words. This confidence isn't based on external approval or praise. In fact, it doesn't depend on what others think at all. It's an internal force cultivated through experience, personal work, and discipline. Why can some people enter a room and capture all eyes effortlessly? Because they transmit an energy that sets them apart. They don't seek to be noticed. They simply are. Another essential aspect is mastering nonverbal expression. While most focus solely on what they say, those perceived as unique understand that body language, tone, and gaze communicate far more than any speech. How you sit, walk, and use silence in your favor all build the image others have of you. Someone restless with jerky movements or slouched posture radiates insecurity. In contrast, someone upright with measured movements, controlled breathing, and steady eye contact exudes confidence. This perception etches itself into the minds of those around them. Emotional independence is equally critical. Many cling to others' validation, allowing their moods to fluctuate based on attention or recognition. This creates dependency, making them vulnerable. Those truly seen as luxuries never let their emotional well-being depend on external factors. A high-value person isn't worried about being accepted or rejected. They don't need to prove anything or desperately demonstrate their importance. Their internal state is stable. Their happiness doesn't hinge on external circumstances. This independence generates a magnetic effect, transmitting self-sufficiency that's deeply attractive. Even more powerful is the ability to inspire respect without demanding it. Many believe respect requires imposing authority, raising their voice, or demanding recognition. But those who truly command respect do so effortlessly. They don't seek approval. They behave in ways that make it clear they won't tolerate less than they deserve. These people don't need crowds or the spotlight. They move discreetly, but with a strength that makes them impossible to ignore. The key is setting clear boundaries without explanation. They don't let anyone treat them with less respect than they deserve. And if someone tries, distance is their response. Developing a solid identity is another key. The most memorable people aren't those who strive to fit in, but those who build a unique essence. They don't blindly follow trends or mold their personality to please others. Instead, they create a style, presence, and way of expressing themselves that sets them apart. A common mistake is trying to please everyone, an impossible task that dilutes authenticity. Those who leave a mark aren't afraid to differentiate themselves. They focus on being true to themselves, and that authenticity becomes their greatest strength. The most influential figures in history weren't people-pleasers. They stood firm in their convictions, expressed ideas fearlessly, and didn't bend to social pressure. This principle remains relevant. To be perceived as high value, you must be willing to be different. Maintaining focus on what truly matters is vital. Many waste energy on trivialities, worrying about irrelevant opinions, reacting to insignificant provocations, or entangling themselves in pointless conflicts. But those who stand out know their time is valuable and don't spend it on useless distractions. This mindset reflects in every aspect of their lives. They aren't constantly on social media seeking validation, engaging in toxic conversations, or arguing with those who can't understand them. They prefer investing time in growth, projects, and personal development. Here lies a crucial difference. While some seek immediate recognition, others work on their legacy. They aren't interested in instant gratification, but in building something lasting. This places them on a higher level because they aren't desperate for fleeting attention, but focused on creating real impact. Another trait separating options from luxuries is the ability to generate value without asking for anything in return. While some focus on receiving, demanding recognition, or claiming their place, others simply deliver something so valuable the world can't ignore it. Think of anyone who left a mark on history. They didn't ask for recognition. They earned it by creating something transcendent. This applies to any field. If you want to be seen as exceptional, focus less on what you receive and more on what you contribute. This leads to strategic patience. Many despair if they don't see immediate results. They give up if they don't get recognition quickly. But those who achieve something significant understand high-value perception isn't built overnight. An artist doesn't become a legend with one piece. A leader doesn't earn respect with one speech. A professional doesn't become an industry reference in a year. This requires time, consistency, and long-term vision. Many don't grasp this. They want quick results, immediate recognition. But those who make a difference understand excellence requires patience. So here's a fundamental truth. To be perceived as high value, you must think big and act consistently. It's not about short-term impressions, but building a presence that endures. Observe those perceived as exceptional. There's something in them transcending appearance, status, or wealth. Their essence exudes exclusivity, making them a category apart. Selectivity is one of the most powerful elements in building a high-value image. In a world where many desperately seek to fit in, those with clear criteria about who they allow into their lives stand out effortlessly. It's not arrogance or disdain, but recognizing that time and energy are limited resources. When someone is overly accessible or always available, their presence loses impact. In contrast, those reserved with their time and attention generate value perception, not by playing hard to get, but by having high standards for sharing their energy. Maintaining calm in any circumstance is another key. Most react impulsively to adversity, controlled by uncontrolled emotions. But those with imposing presence know emotional mastery is key. They don't rush to respond, get easily upset, or lose control to provocations. This emotional stability sends a clear message. Nothing and no one can destabilize them. When someone radiates this level of internal control, they automatically become a reference. A person whose presence signifies natural authority. Communication style also plays a fundamental role. It's not just what you say, but how you say it. Those who speak hastily, with doubts or a desperate need to be heard, project insecurity. In contrast, those who use strategic pauses, precise wording, and convey ideas without shouting capture attention effortlessly. Consistency builds presence. People who constantly change their narrative lose credibility. Those who maintain absolute congruence in actions and principles are seen as trustworthy figures. This consistency isn't just in words, it's in actions. Many talk about plans, goals, and values, but their actions tell a different story. In contrast, those truly seen as unique don't need to convince anyone. Their choices, how they move through the world, their private and public conduct, all align with their essence. Mystery is powerful in an age of overexposure. Those who keep part of themselves reserved become intriguing. Oversharing devalues information, but those who pace what they reveal generate curiosity. Mystery isn't inaccessibility. It's understanding the allure of the unknown. When everything about a person is exposed, surprise and interest fade. But with discretion and unpredictability, interest remains alive. Handling attention differently also matters. Many desperately seek the spotlight in ways that reflect neediness. Those perceived as valuable don't seek attention. They attract it naturally through presence quality, not forced efforts. Confidence, how you move, and calm observation speak louder than forced attempts to stand out. Elevating others sets the exceptional apart. While some try to prove superiority by belittling others, impactful individuals inspire growth. Their security and knowledge elevate conversations and energy wherever they are. Their charisma isn't based on empty phrases or rehearsed attitudes, but authenticity that leaves a mark. Continuous evolution is the final differentiator. Those who stagnate in past versions of themselves lose relevance. But those who grow continuously, exploring new ideas, challenges, and learning, maintain their appeal. In essence, being seen as a luxury isn't about appearance, money, or status. It's about how you manage your energy, time, words, and growth. When you embody these principles, you don't need to convince anyone of your worth. You simply project it. Those who seem to exude superior value share a common thread. They don't try to fit others' expectations. In a world where most seek approval, they stand out because they understand external validation doesn't define their worth. The difference between someone acting with full confidence and someone modifying behavior for acceptance is stark. Those radiating exclusivity don't force their presence or justify their existence. They own their energy, time, and space. True authority doesn't need proclamation. Communication. The most captivating people aren't loud or spectacular. Each word has weight, each pause purpose, each gaze intention. They don't rush to fill uncomfortable silences because they understand power lies in calm confidence. Attention isn't begged, it's attracted naturally. High-value individuals don't flaunt achievements because their actions speak. They don't prove their worth because others perceive it without explanation. Lack of neediness is profound. Needing someone or something to feel complete diminishes power. Luxury lies in self-sufficiency, the ability to enjoy your own company without external validation. This lack of attachment to approval creates immediate independence and solidity. These individuals don't fill voids with superficial relationships or depend on others' validation. Boundaries define perception. While some tolerate disrespect to be accepted, high-value individuals set clear limits. They don't tolerate wasted time or emotional manipulation. Selectivity in relationships protects them from negativity and reinforces their value. Handling adversity reveals true distinction. Anyone can appear confident when things go well. Real admiration comes in crises. Those with this mindset don't panic, react desperately, or blame others. They analyze, strategize, and adapt. This control sends a message. Nothing can destabilize them. Demonstrating invulnerability to circumstances earns greater respect. Creating expectations through intrigue maintains interest. Predictability kills magic, but discovery sustains allure. In business, exclusive products don't reveal everything up front. In relationships, the most intriguing people don't share their entire story at once. Internal cultivation, mental, emotional, and physical care defines the energy you radiate. Those investing in personal growth inevitably stand out. Evolution keeps them relevant. In contrast, those stuck in comfort zones lose impact. True luminaries never stop learning, surrounding themselves with inspiring people and challenging themselves. Ultimately, being seen as a luxury is a matter of mindset, presence, and selectivity. It's not about appearances, but embodying an essence that can't be ignored. It's not about seeking attention, but attracting it effortlessly. It's not about fitting in, but standing out through authenticity and confidence. When you observe someone radiating superior value, it's not just their words or actions. It's the impression they leave. It's a combination of subtle, powerful elements. Mastery over time perception, calm amidst chaos, coherent communication, and unwavering self-belief. These individuals aren't slaves to immediacy or haste. They move calmly, make unhurried decisions, and don't let others dictate their pace. They make every moment in their presence feel significant. Leaving a lasting impression doesn't require exaggeration. Being memorable isn't about loudness or artificial flair. Precision in words, intentional. Gestures, confident gaze, and genuine presence create impact. Solid identity separates the indispensable from the forgettable. Those unclear about who they are, constantly changing to fit in, inevitably become disposable. In contrast, those with unwavering authenticity become reference points. Energy projection matters in every detail. How you enter a room, eye contact, breathing rhythm, posture. It creates unspoken presence. Influence isn't about convincing or imposing. It's letting actions speak. High-value individuals don't seek admiration but end up inspiring respect. Self-fidelity without external approval is key. Most act conditioned by fear of judgment, but those who shine have moved beyond this. They don't seek validation because they found internal certainty. Detachment from needing approval defines the truly valuable. They don't beg for attention or please everyone. True luxury is the freedom to be oneself. Controlling destiny instead of waiting for circumstances sets them apart. They don't complain or depend on external factors. They take charge and create conditions for success. In conclusion, exclusivity and high-value perception aren't built superficially. They're a blend of mindset, presence, selectivity, emotional mastery, and deep self-assurance. Those who project luxury don't conform to others' expectations. In a world seeking approval, they stand out by understanding external validation doesn't define worth. The difference between confidence and people-pleasing is clear. Those radiating exclusivity don't force their presence. They own their energy, time, and space. True authority doesn't need proclamation. In communication, captivation comes from weighted words, purposeful pauses, and calm confidence. Attention isn't begged, it's magnetized. Ultimately, high-value perception is rooted in self-sufficiency, boundaries, crisis mastery, intrigue, continuous growth, and authenticity. It's not about tricks or pretense, it's about becoming someone whose essence commands respect, admiration, and undivided attention.